Hi and welcome back. We're going to do some recoloring of your pattern designs in Illustrator and Photoshop. And if you followed any of my previous tutorials on doing repeat pattern design in Illustrator, you'll probably come up with a question about how to recolor your artwork. To start with, this pattern here, this is a two-layer pattern and it's created with raster images. In other words, artwork that I generated in Procreate. So if you go over to Photoshop, you'll see I have this one opened, and you could conceivably recolor the entire pattern once you've already turned it into one using a couple methods like the recolor brush here. So if I come over and grab one of my swatches, and these are from the library that I have created online, I could paint over and do this, but you can kind of see it's going to be laborious and it may not be very accurate, and sometimes this tool is a little bit difficult to use. So like for example, it just took me a bunch of clicks just to get those little bits filled in. However, this tool is handy with fairly simple artwork. I think your best approach is to actually recolor the individual motifs and bring those back over into Illustrator. You can do that over in Procreate if you made it there, but I'm going to use Photoshop because I want to do some pretty simple, quick changes. To start with, I have my palettes open here, and these are from my libraries. These are some swatches that I like, and say I want to change this Morpho butterfly into something that's bright red. I'll just double click the swatch, come down here, double click this, and I'm going to copy this hex number, then go up to image adjustments, and I'm going to replace the color. Now by default your eyedropper, regular eyedropper, is going to be turned on, and I'm just going to select in one of the areas. And by the way, this tool, this method is really good for doing something that has kind of color gradients. I'm going to go over to the result, and I'm going to paste in that red color and then hit OK. Then I'm going to grab the plus sign, and I'm going to start to click around in the areas that I want that color to fill into. That looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'll hit OK. Now I've completely recolored this. I'll save it as a PNG file. Back over in Illustrator, I'm going to change this pattern. I'm going to make a new version of it. So I'm going to take the pattern and I'm going to copy it because I want that new box here to be filled with this new pattern. And it looks the same until I double click on it and I go back into pattern edit mode. And now I can do and place, bring in that new Morpho butterfly, scale it, and just basically rearrange the pattern so this new one is in the same location. Okay, so the other way to recolor using your color swatches and your color libraries is on vector shape. So say you've created the artwork in Illustrator and you just want to do a quick recolor. This is kind of the fastest way to do it. First, you want to bring your swatches panel over and then also have your libraries open. These are both located under Window. And then I'm going to bring in this color palette here. So I can just click, right click, and then add color to swatches. And I'm going to do that for all 5 of these. And you can see that they add up along here. Then I can shift select those. I like to have things a little bit organized. I'll hit the little folder, and we'll just call this one new. 2 W's, and there it is. And now I can recolor this artwork. So this is a pattern. It's already been created into a pattern, and if I go and I scale this down a little bit, maybe just so you can see that it is in fact a pattern, I'm going to recolor it. And granted, it's not the best pattern on earth, that's for sure. But with it selected, I'm going to go over to the Recolor Artwork tab. I'm going to close out my layers here, and it opens this one. Then you can go to the Advanced Options, and it opens this confusing looking window. But you can see now my new swatches are right here, and those are the ones that are for my library. And So now I want to change orange to another color. You can double click in here and then select color swatches, and then you can cruise through and find those. So let's make that dark orange more dull, something like that. Let's make this orange something completely different. Color swatches here. I'm going to pull from that same color book, but I'm going to go with that green color. You can see it updating. Let's keep going. I'm going to do the maroon color down here. And then I'm going to do the really dark color for this one. Hit OK. That looks good. Now I've completely recolored the vector artwork. That's the simplest way to recolor patterns that were created in Adobe Illustrator, whether they are raster images or they're vector images that were created specifically for your patterns. Good luck recoloring your artwork.